Hello knockouts, TonyaTko here, and I'll probably be doing videos more often just to be able to give you guys updates on what's going on, especially since I'm in a precarious situation. Fantastic news, an associate from Facebook, she saw my post, and she has a room that she rents out that's in between tenants for like the next 2 or 3 days. Like the person that's coming next is coming in a few days, so she said that I could spend the night here. And so last night I was able to sleep indoors, and I was able to sleep in a nice comfy bed. Like if you see the bed is really soft, and the sheets are really pretty, and it was it was so nice to be in comfortable, safe feeling surroundings. I came in, I met her first. Well, we met at a seminar a few years ago, and when she saw my video, she was like, I'm not very far from sorry, my arm is hurting. When she saw my post, she was like, I'm not very far from the YouTube studios. You can come and crash with me for a day or two. And I was a little leery at first. That's why, I left my clothes in the car. I don't know. I'll explain it to you a little bit more when I get to the car. But I was a little leery at first, but I met her. The environment is so loving, and she's so sweet. And it's like, I put up a video yesterday about how numbers don't lie, and how, there are certain people who make negative seeming videos and they get big numbers, etc. But then I think about this situation, and I'm like, you know what? There's like so much love that's pouring out from people. It's like this woman, I don't want to get emotional because I've been kind of tearing up in the last few videos, but this woman, based on what it is that she knew of me, allowed me into her home where she sleeps. And so it's like the gratitude that I feel for the presence that I have, that people, if you see the letters that I've received about people telling me how much of an impact I've had on their life, the encouragement that I've been getting, and it's like, that's better than money. It's better than money. It's better than, it's like, I don't know. It's great to be able to have money to take care of yourself and support yourself, but love, like if you have trouble making the ends meet, or trouble in any way, and people who see your presence, it's like, I met her at a seminar, but I didn't really know her, and she started watching some of my videos, and she said that my videos, she told me last night, she was like, my arm, she was like, you have no idea how many people you help with your videos, and to the extent in which people find help in my videos. So I'm like, that's love right there. It's like, oh, you know what? Let's talk in the car. I want to get out of here because it's like I want to respect people's space. I don't want to just be sitting around, laying around. I gotta start searching for a home. And so, I've been searching, and I just haven't been able to find anything, but I need to get back on the grind. I'm going over to the YouTube studios. So you know what? I'll make a quick video from my car, and then I'll perhaps show you around the YouTube space. I'll show you what my day is like. We'll see whether or not I have the capacity to do that, because it's like sometimes I get really focused and like laser focused on getting out of this situation. So sometimes I don't really have the capacity. Like yesterday was Sunday, so it was a lot more laid back because the YouTube space is not open on Sundays, but now I need to get back on the grind. And speaking of grind, we'll talk more about that, but listen, stay tuned. I'm gonna click back over from the car. Peace. Hello knockouts, I'm back. I hope you can hear me because the car is running, trying to warm it up right now. So okay, so let's talk. All right, so you know what? I realize from a lot of people's comments that there are a lot of like misunderstanding and misperceptions about what being displaced actually means, right? Like some people are wondering why I look clean. You know what? And we talked a little bit about this in some of the last videos, like self-care. What does self-care and what does caring for yourself mean? And what are the reasons that you choose or choose not to care about yourself? You know what I mean? And it's like, do you use being displaced as a reason not to care about yourself? So I'll tell you all a little bit about, I'm just rambling right now because I'm getting ready to go run my errands for the day. Olive oil. Remember when I first did my very first video on the solution for TKO skin? Well, not TKO, this was long before TKO skin, but how I got rid of my stretch marks. Remember, it was olive oil and shea butter. And so my go-to, if I don't have, like, I prefer coconut oil, but if I don't have coconut oil, like olive oil, like, I don't know why, but like commercial coconut oil that they're selling is like RBD, which has like the scent and all that stuff taken out of it. But I need that fatty stuff. I got some organic one, unfiltered, extra virgin, and this actually keeps my skin nice and moist all throughout the day so that I don't have to worry about getting dry and stuff. I realized that there may be a lot of people out there who are displaced because people have this misunderstanding about what displacement is. They think displacement is walking around with a shopping cart, walking around with a shopping cart with your clothes looking dirty. One person even said that I have on makeup. Honey, thank you. They're talking about making videos with makeup. Thank you. That means that my old product and stuff is still working, because anybody who knows TonyaTko, if I'm going to put on some makeup, I'm putting on my eyebrows first, because my eyes. I don't like being bald-faced. I don't like that. But nonetheless, there are probably a lot of people out there who are displaced because, a home is a place that you go to at night. And, being displaced, I don't consider myself homeless. Where am I looking? I don't consider myself homeless at all. I consider myself displaced. And how do I put this? We all have choices, and it's like, like this lady who let me spend the night in her home. I was a little leery at first because, people's home, I don't really like going into people's homes like that. People's homes are their sacred space, and it's like the home is really governed by who it is that they are. And every home environment is not, already every environment inside people's house is not, I don't know. Listen, there's so much that I can say, but how much of it, really, how much of it will penetrate? It's like me sleeping in my car is a choice. It's a choice because I would rather sleep in my car than some of the other alternatives, like let's say a shelter, which may not be very safe. How long can you crash on different people's couches? It's like I could not see a way out of this situation. I've had different people offer, even some people on some of my videos offered for me to come into their homes. You really have to feel inside your spirit. Like last night, I didn't know the woman who let me stay in her home last night, but I came by to meet her first, and I was really still kind of like in between places. Like I still left my clothes in the car because I'm like, I don't really want to, and then I have to, be making moves real quick and all this other stuff. So I left my stuff in the car. Being displaced, I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling, so forgive me. Actually, I could just start driving. Being displaced it's altered me on the inside because I feel a lot more sensitive to stuff that may be going on inside other people's lives, you know, because it's like, it's so, I don't want to say it's so easy to pretend. Not really pretend. Oh, I got cars rolling up behind me. Not really pretend. But it's like most people wouldn't know that I'm displaced, you know, by looking at me, by interacting with me, because I'll make sure I'm staying safe. Most people wouldn't know that I'm displaced by interacting with me unless I like actually tell them, or unless they see my car, unless they walk with me to my car and they see, oh, well, why do you have all of this stuff inside your car? And then they kind of like, they're like, either she's really, really junky, but I mean, when they see the sleeping bag back there with the pillow, you know, then they're like, And people kind of treat you funny too when they find out that you're displaced. It's so interesting because like people, I don't know, it's so very interesting. Like I told the security people, because I had my car cover on in the YouTube space, and I told the security people, the head of security, that, you know, I was living in my car because they wanted me to take the cover off of my car. And, you know, I told him, I was like, you know, I'm living inside of my car. And then he got like really, like, we had a great conversation up until that point. And then he was like, you're not staying here at night, are you? Because we can't have that on our prop. And I was like, come on. I was like, no, I don't stay here at night. And yeah. I was like, but then he just got real funny or whatnot. But you know, it's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the beast. I wish that I could give some encouraging words of wisdom in this video. You know what? I will say this, that I know that there are people who are watching this video who are at different stages of homefulness, homelessness, and home freeness. You know, and I will tell you this, you know, just keep pushing on. You know, I came into contact with some comments of people who were a little frustrated because my campaign, you know, had started to pull in resources or whatnot, and they may have done a campaign or not known that they could have done a campaign, or didn't really feel that anybody would be there for them. And I'm going to tell you this, I didn't know anyone would be there for me. When I put up, I was like, I just decided to put it out there. And you know, for a person like me who believes in abundance and having, in the world, somebody's high heel shoes out on the side of the road. It looked like a nice shoe too, but just one of them. I didn't know that anyone would come through. It was like when the first 1,000 came through, I was like, wow, I thought it was going to end there, and I was like, wow, yes. And I was like, this is such a blessing, right? Do I have the light? I don't even know. Oh, there's like, the roads out here in California are so bizarre. They got so much going on out here. But nonetheless, I didn't know people would be there for me. And there are some people who are criticizing me for putting the campaign out. But I'll tell you this much. The woman who let me stay with her, let me stay in her house last night, saw my campaign and reached out to me. And it was because of I put out the campaign that I'm able to, you know, let people know what the situation is, let them know. And look, it's not all about the money. It's not all about what people can provide monetarily. You know, people coming to me and letting me know what my videos have done for them have really strengthened and fortified me. Sorry, I want to make this turn is real tight over here. Yeah, it's really strengthened and fortified me, because it's like you need that stuff to go on. And there's some people who are like, oh, Tonya is scamming, right? It's like, look, I've been on YouTube 8 years. 8 years, and I've been on YouTube 8 years, so I have, listen, people who know me, like one person wrote this real funny thing. He was like, This reminds me of something from this movie, this Don't Drink Your Juice in the Hood, something like that, right? Where a person was dressed up as a homeless person, and then when the clock, I wanna pull over and get inside the shade. Ugh, I don't want this because like the sun is so harsh in my face. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, we'll do it. I don't want the sun on me. All right. And this person was like, oh, this reminds me of this guy who at 5 o'clock he took off his dirty clothes and he looked at his watch, and then he went into his Mercedes and pulled off. Now, you know what? It's so very interesting. I had to write back to that person because I was like, you know, why would I want to be in dirty clothes all day, and then just to be able to make some money? It's like that doesn't add up to me. Perfect. Just like being in the shade. Oh, this is a driveway. I can't get a break. And I was like, why would a person want to be in filth all day? It's like that's not rich. That's not rich. That's not rich. It's like you're not really abundant. You're not really living in your abundance. You're not living in the highest form of yourself. If you have to dress up in dirty clothes and lie and beg and all of that, it's like you don't really feel the full breadth and width of your money, of your riches, when you are constricting yourself to pretend to be something else. It's like, me personally, you know, all of this is just, I don't know, it's so beautiful in a way, because it's like, for me, this has meant so much, because, you know, for me and for the type of person that I am, you know, I would much rather not ask. I'd much rather not ask. I'd much rather have it on my own. I would much rather have it on my own than to ask, you know, because there can be a lot of things that come along with asking. You know, it's like, how do I put it? How do I put this? Not everything that you get is free. And many women understand this. I don't know if men really kind of, I don't know what the situation like is on the other side, but I know for many women, I'm sure men would have some of the same experiences too. But not everything you get is free. And there are sometimes hidden costs that come along with it, which you did not agree to pay, but people expect you to pay. And if you choose not to, you know, they throw back in your face what it is that you have gotten or that they gave you or whatnot. So everything is not. So it's like, you know, some people who are like, oh yeah, you know, come stay inside my home. You don't really know what comes along with that. You know what I mean? You don't really know what comes along with it. You don't really know what the environment is like. Oh man, I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm gonna try to figure out one more thing to say, and then end the video. I'll take you guys on a little walk through. What time is it? YouTube Space is not open for another hour, so I got might as well just get back on the road, just drive until, and then pull up somewhere until they are open. I don't really have nothing to say, but it feels nice having you guys come along for the ride with me. I want to pull off of this street. This is the you know, free. And when you get stuff, listen, I don't want to sound cynical, so let me stop. I don't want to be cynical. Because, you know, it's like there are some people who do give from their hearts. However, you don't really know why everyone is what everyone has in mind for you. You know what I mean? Sometimes people don't really speak up their needs or their wants, and then they end up feeling disappointed or duped or whatever when you don't give them what it is that they felt was implicit in what it is that they did or gave to you. But on a positive note, I will say this. People have really stepped up for me. They've really stepped up for me. And, you know, if you don't put it out there, you will never know what it is. It's like sometimes, you know, it's like we live in such a society where there's so many of us who are suffering in silence, suffering alone, not really telling people what's going on with us. For many of us, you know, it's embarrassing. For me and the type of person that I am, this was embarrassing for me because I like being abundant. I like taking care of myself. I like being able to do things in the way that I like to do it. And so this has been an interesting journey for me, you know, to reach out and you know, it's like, I believe that we all manifest everything that happens into our lives. And, you know, I put up my video, and then I started getting a lot of negative backlash. And that negative backlash really kind of tested my resolve. It's like, what is more pressing to me? My ego of feeling like like I shouldn't need or shouldn't want, or the need that I have, the immediate need that I have right now. So it's like, you know, and I you know, I read some of the comments and I feel it doesn't hurt me. It actually makes me feel sad for a lot of us, because we're so hurt and we're so damaged that people would rather holler out, don't help this person, don't do this, don't do that, because there may be a chance that this person may not be honest, rather than really, you know, allowing people to do what they feel is what resonates with them. You know, and like, you know what, it's so interesting. This whole journey has been really interesting for me, and I've talked for 18 minutes. I'm gonna and then plus the video that I did right before that. So what I'll do is I'll show you guys the YouTube space in the next video, because I keep my I keep my food inside their refrigerator. I'm telling you, there's a way to make it work. If you want to make it work, there's a way to make it work. If you want to make it work, there's a way to stay clean. You know, I was able to, because like I told you, I was washing up like in Starbucks and stuff like that. And they have gym memberships out here where you could pay $35 for the month and be able to go to, or rather $39 for the month and be able to go to any location gym that they have. They even have 24-hour fitnesses out here. And it's like, you know what, it makes me wonder, because it's like, you know, I look around at people and I wonder. And I actually met a guy who was also displaced. And you know what, it's like, wow, this journey has been so, because there's a lot of people in Los Angeles who are displaced and becoming displaced. This is an interesting town, I tell you that much. This is an interesting town. It's really expensive to live here. And you know what, and I talked about my choice, how I talked about my choice and how staying in my car was a choice, because there's some things that are honestly worse than staying in your car. There's some things that are honestly, to me, worse. To me, some people acting, I don't know, acting like the world I live in and the world they live in and the world we all live in is so different for so many people. You know, people acting like family. People acting like family. Yeah. Sorry, I'm zoning off now because I got so much on my mind. But people act like family always steps up. People act like family is not sometimes some of the people who want to see you doing poorly or don't really even know you. You know what I mean? And I talked to you guys about what happened to me when I had my near-death experience and the relationships that I had to walk away from and close out, even especially relationships with family. You know, it's like, yeah. What is this? You got the street blocked off over here. About to pull around these things. Unbelievable, but yeah. Anyway, listen, I love you guys very much. Keep your head up. Everybody, you know, it's like some people want me to be like, they're like, oh, Tonya, we need to know that you're not scamming. And it's like, people are like, oh, there are holes in your story. And it's like, you know what, I know what my situation is, and I know what it is that, yeah. It's like, I don't feel like I have to, quote unquote, prove anything to anybody who feels that they need some sort of, quote unquote, proof. You know what I mean? It's like people talking about, oh, I was going to give. And it's like, you know what? It's not about the money. Let me just pull over here. It's not about the money. It's an encouraging word. It's an uplifting message. Fuck this. The sun out here is just so hot. It's like it's very uncomfortable being in the sun. You know, it's not about what it is that you could financially donate. It's how is it that you are showing up in this life for other people. Like, even if you choose not to give $1, why try to smash a person down? It's like, you know, we don't really know what a person is going through and what it is that it takes for them to hold it all together. You know what I mean? And so, you know, there's this, I can't think of where this comes from, but there's a thing that says, you know, do no harm. And it's like, you know what, even if you can't help, why hurt? Or why attempt to hurt? Because these people cannot hurt me, but the fact that they would attempt to, you know, says so much. I'm looking for a place to pull over. Says so much, but so many of these streets you can't park on. Like, no stopping anytime, no stopping anytime. Let me see if I can bust a U-turn on this street real quick. I hear sirens. Okay. Yeah, but you know, it's like, even if you can't help, why try to, it's like, there's nobody out there who would know for sure. Nobody would really know for sure. Only the people who know me and know what it is that I stand for, and people who can feel me and feel me with their heart, feel me with their energy, and connect with and resonate with what it is that I'm saying. Only those people would really know. But if someone's pulling out of a parking space, perfect. If you don't know, I mean, just imagine. It's like, if you don't know, but to speak with such a surety as if you do know. I don't know. It's like, let me just tell her. Oh no, take your time, sis. Take your time. Take your time. Okay. Yeah, it's like if you don't know, why put yourself in a position where you can really cause some serious damage to a person? I don't know. This whole journey has been so interesting for me, and I've learned so much, and I'm a better person as a result of it. A better person as a result of it. And I will prevail. I will prevail. You know what? And it's like, she's pulling out, I'm going to pull in, and then by the time I pull in, it's time for me to end the video anyway. Just pull over. You know, I've gotten so many messages from people who are all also struggling in their own way. And it's like, you know, I gotta respect this journey that people are on. You know, one thing that I will say, and then I'll end the video on this. I don't know, I feel like I'm looking so boobish. Let me just try to. I'll say this, right? There's a part of me that feels complimented by the people's insults, you know, because, you know, people are like, you don't look like you're in need. Oh, you're a tremendous actress. Just saying, you know, a bunch of different things. And there's actually a compliment in that, because it means that I'm not broken. It means I'm not broken. It means that there's still pieces of me that are so together that it would be hard for people to fathom that I would be in need, you know. And so I take that as a compliment. Also, people feeling that I could act is also a compliment, and I may even have to look into, because, you know, I know that I can be very dramatic, you know, when I'm doing my talks, and I raise the vibration and I really get into a TonyaTko message. I know that I could be really dramatic, but if I could also act, I think that could be something that could also help me in some sort of way, you know. And then I don't know, there's just, I don't know, you know, it's like, and some people, you know, it's like some people have written about how they know that I'll make it through. They're like, oh, Tonya, I know you're strong. I know you'll make it through. And it's so funny to hear people read that, because that's always something that, let me turn off my car. That's always something that has been said to me throughout the years. They're like, oh, I know you'll do it. I'll know you'll do it. It's like, you know, sometimes when I come forward, you know, letting people know that I could use some assistance with something, they're like, oh, I know you'll work it out. Oh, you're Tonya, I know you'll figure it out. And so yeah, that's been a reoccurring theme in my life. And so it's like, so sometimes people choose not to help or choose not to assist because they feel that you got it under control. And, you know, part of the reason that you're asking is because you do need the help. And people are like, oh, you got it, you'll be all right, I know it. And you know what? And the thing about it is that in the end, we are all right. And if we're not all right, then it's not the end. Yeah, but in the end, we'll all be all right. I'll be all right, you'll be all right. It'll all work out. However it is that it works out, there'll be at least a lesson in it. You know? There'll be at least a lesson in it. And I know that it's risky. It was risky coming out and, you know, asking for help. However, how much longer did I need to suffer in silence, especially when I realized that there was no way to get out of the situation? You know, it's like, And then you know what? Maybe it is true. Maybe it is true. Maybe I'm not all the way completely broken. I would say that our spirit and our energy is the most powerful, most viable thing that we have. And it's like, as long as you have that strong life force on the inside, yeah, maybe I'm not all the way broken, down and out. Maybe I'm not. But then why would people want to see me get to that point? It's like, by the time you go all the way down, then it's far too difficult to raise back up out of that. You know? Far too difficult to raise back up out of that. Yeah. It's like people, they don't want to see me with a car. They don't want to see me with even a cell phone. They don't want to see me clean. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, I'm droning on now. 31 minutes. What am I talking about anymore? Anyway, listen, hug me. Hug me, hug me, hug me, hug me, hug me. Alright. Now, go out there and love one another. Most importantly, what? That's right. Love yourself. And what does self-love look like for you today? What are the things that you can do today to support and love yourself? What can you do? What can you do? And what are the things that you can do to continue to support and love yourself? And do you only love yourself based on when things are going right? And when they're not going right, is that when you attack yourself? Is that when you stop washing, stop caring, stop taking care of yourself, start abusing yourself, when things start going down around you? Anyway, listen, I'm going to get out of here. TonyaTko, and I'm out. Peace.